Rode is an audio company that provides microphones both wired and wireless, and their signature product line, the RodeCaster. There's the RodeCaster Pro, RodeCaster Pro 2, RodeCaster Duo, and the Streamer X, but now they've come out with the RodeCaster Video. I've seen a ton of content on the RodeCaster Video and finally got my hands on one for a client production. And the best way I can describe it is if you mix together or throw into a pot the RodeCaster Duo, Stream Deck, a streaming platform like Ecamm Live or EVMux that has scenes, and an A10 Mini Pro ISO, out jumps the RodeCaster Video. I'll share real world use cases, screen grabs from Rode Central, along with my initial thoughts and observations in the full video. So here we are looking at Rode Central, and you've got Scene Builder, which I'm going to get to in a bit, but we also have the audio mixer. And so this is going to control what we see on our actual screen, on the multi-view screen of the RodeCaster Video. You can actually adjust and add and remove different audio sources from the mix, and that does impact what is sent out from the RodeCaster Video over USB. Here you've got HDMI outputs, you can adjust frame rates, you can adjust your switching, instant or studio modes, you have recording with ISO, then you also have your outputs with headphones and monitors, you can adjust the display, and some system settings like date, time, and wireless connections. You have streaming profiles. I've only added Instagram, but you can add anything that you can use with RTMP. Then you also have the scene builder, and on the extreme left, you have your micro SD card, and you have the different files and folders that you have created there. So by clicking on videos, graphics, sounds, you will increase the amount of things you're seeing in that list. If you just have videos selected, you can only see videos. You click on add media at the bottom, you can see it opens up my hard drive, and I can showcase or add whatever graphics or videos or sounds that I would like to add from my computer. And when I open them, you'll see that they are added to this left side. Now, on the main screen here in the middle, I've just clicked on the A scene, right? And I can crop in on a camera by simply selecting it on the extreme right. Everything that's in this scene is on the extreme right. You can see that I've expanded that camera out some. I can crop in a little bit. So you have full control over how those cameras are represented and how they show up in your scene, depending on how you design them. Now I've clicked on camera one. I only have one camera connected, so I'm just connecting and showing what it looks like when you have two cameras on a particular scene. Notice I can take a image from the media library, which is the SD card, drag it over to the source scene, which is in the bottom layer, and it is actually the background, and it does make those changes. Here you're seeing just the camera with a simple overlay, but I can actually take, here is another transparent piece. When I hit the plus sign, which gives me a blank element, now you've got, this is what that graphic is. It's a transparent thing that just says worship and giving. If I take it, just make it a little bit smaller, now I have the ability to bring it down. Now I have to be able to crop in on this so I can put it on top of the lower third, and I can crop in just by grabbing the top and bottom, pull that down, and you can see that that is now on top of the lower third. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that straight right here right now, but you can kind of get a feel for what you can do. I mean, essentially right here in Rode Central, in the scene builder of the RodeCaster Video. And when we click away, you can see what that looks like, and you can change your layer priority and several other things that you have. Again, here's yet another scene where I've duplicated the camera twice. I've put Word of God on the bottom here. I've actually cropped in, and here I just have a simple overlay. And again, you have layer priority. You can add multiple things. I still have a couple more scenes. Here is all the videos that I have added to the RodeCaster Video. And you would, once you click on any of these that are stacked here, you can actually show the overlay that has been assigned to that button. And you can actually assign the button on the extreme right. And so if I click on any of those buttons, you'll be able to see that during the production. So again, This is kind of that Stream Deck functionality that I was talking about. And then you have the ability to do auto and do your cut here, all from Rode Central, which is the stream builder. So right now we are looking at the RodeCaster video, and both of these screens are actually connected to it. I have one camera source, which is the ZVE10 on the other side of this monitor, and that's what is giving you this scene this camera feed that you're seeing here. The RodeCaster video has the ability to have 6 inputs, as you can see them here, camera 1 all the way through 6. 4 of those are HDMI, 2 of them are USB, but you can utilize those USB ports in a multifunction kind of way. You can plug in a USB webcam or capture card if you so desire, but you can also plug in a USB microphone into those ports as well. This is your audio board, if you will, mixing board. I have 2 Rode Wireless Pros already paired with it right now. And so you can see these are here. I don't need the transmitter because as soon as I bring this out and it turns on, you'll start to see the audio from this begin to start picking up. So that is really dope. And with the Rode Central software, you're able to actually configure this in a way to be able to have what you want down here. I guess the sound inputs that you would like to have for your individual broadcast, video production, whatever it is that you're recording. Secondly, each one of the camera inputs, the HDMI camera inputs, do bring audio with them as well. And you can add that to the board if you so desire. Everything you add to the board does get added to the live mix. So you want to make sure you're only adding things that you actually want to bring audio from, else it will affect the outgoing mix unless you go into that mix and then deselect it. It gives you storage numbers here. I have a 2 terabyte drive connected. It has about 1 terabyte of space left on it. You can see that we have about 65 hours of space. It does do record at 1080p, and it can record ISO, meaning it will record all of your inputs individually, and some of your scenes that you've designed. And I'm going to get to that in a second. You do have the ability to go in and set your stream profiles as well. So, but it is, RTMP, URL, and key format. So you have to go in and configure that platform by platform, and in some cases stream by stream. Unless you get a persistent key from Facebook and YouTube, you'll have to configure that every time. Instagram, we all know you have to do that every single time. And then of course, any other platforms that are out there, those are just kind of some of the bigger name ones, but any of the platforms that utilize RTMP, you can use this to stream to it. And you would just simply tap there and click to go live. This touchscreen is cool, but it is a smaller screen real estate, so having Rode Central on the laptop is clutch. The generic view of the camera is this one. That's what the camera feed looks like. What I have done is I have actually designed scenes for A, B, C, D, and E. So A, B, C, D, E, this top set of buttons, these are the scenes that I've designed. So this one I've designed kind of a guest experience where I have one camera here, another camera here. This background is the background from my show, The Coaching Corner. And so it's just those 2 layers. You have the background, then you have the cameras on top of the background, and you can kind of size them, crop them, and situate them however you'd like. And then another scene that I designed is this one here that says excuseless. You have the preview, you have the green and red preview and live. So whichever one is in the live or program feed, you can see that takes over the main screen here. Both of these monitors I mentioned are connected to the RodeCaster video. This is showing program, but this is giving you the multi-view, and it's showing all of the different things that you can do here. So this is another scene that is designed. It's just the camera with a lower third bar on it, and you could essentially, create whatever name tag that you'd like for this scene, but it isn't something that you can just manually type in. You would have to create it, put it on the SD card, which is what I had to do for all of the graphics. And how do you do that? So on my drive, on this hard drive, I have some of the files that I'd like. Using the Rode Central software, you go in there, you look at the scene that you have designed, then it'll use the SD card. I've got a 256 gig SD card here, and you use the SD card to be able to pull files, graphics, videos, whatever onto it that you are going to design in these scenes. So the SD card, the thinking is there that will stay in the device, whereas the drive, you may disconnect that because you're live streaming, or reconnect it to record. So you don't want to necessarily use that. They don't want the files to be stored on the same place that you're going to be recording to. So it pulls it over onto the SD card for you to have access to that. So that's where these graphics are coming from. Here is yet another, a little more intricate. Of course, we still have the two cameras. If I had another camera angle, I would put that in the other spot, but right now just using that as it is. So you have the background, you have the two cameras, and then there's another transparent overlay that says Word of God at the bottom. And those make up that scene. Pretty cool. Here's yet another one. Just the background from my show. That you probably have seen on this channel multiple times. Then you have the full, or I should say, pulled in video feed from the camera. Then on top of that video feed from the camera, you have my coaching corner overlay, which is transparent. And so that is 3 layers, and that this thing handles it like a champ. And you can see I'm just kind of cutting through these with ease. You have that modifying your dating type. All of this is just one overlay that is on top of the camera feed. And so that's what these buttons here on the top give you right off the bat. And then these would be your camera feeds. If I had more than one connected, you would see that, but I can actually, pull that up, that camera up by itself as I would anything else. I have set it to a cut bus where I'm actually having program and preview and having to hit the cut button. So if I had more camera feeds here, I would be able to pull those in, and you would see them kind of lined up here as well. Again, if I had the audio sources connected at this time, you would see that those lighting up as well. It does have the 2 combo ports on it, and so you would be able to connect in 2 XLR audio sources. I have this shotgun mic, which is XLR, and then of course you can see in the shot that I have this MV7X microphone that is XLR as well. Both of those could be plugged in here, but what I've actually done is plug them both into the RodeCaster Pro, the first version, and then take the out from this, left and right speaker out from this, and plugged it into the combo port on this. So that's where I'm getting my audio from. I'm able to control that a little bit better with the different faders and things, as opposed to having these dials. I have to actually go through and find those audio devices inside this in this menu, and that you can get used to that with the dials and everything, but having this like this just made better sense for me. Now, once you get through this first set of buttons, you have this set of buttons here that changes what these buttons are. And so when you click on this top one, this brings up whatever video files you have already saved to your SD card, which is now accessible on the device. And so you can always see your cameras here. You can always see your cameras here. But now you can see that there are 2 different things in these letter slots. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You have these slots. There's 6, 7 of them. And so I have already loaded in a video for us to be able to play. And if I queue up that video, you can see it coming here into the preview. And if I hit cut, now you can see that video is playing. You can see it playing on the big screen over there as well. One thing that is odd, and maybe there is something that I need to play with this a little bit further on, but I have not found where after the video is complete that it actually goes back to the scene that it was in before. So you do want to make sure that as the video is playing, you go back to your scenes, whatever you were doing before. Let's say I have D queued up there, and then when the video is done, which you can actually follow along and see that it's got 20 seconds, 18 seconds left. When that video is complete, you can be ready to hit the cut button. Again, this is new, so give me some grace, y'all. I have no idea whether or not this is exactly how this is supposed to work, but that's how I've been using it for the current moment, and maybe I'll find a different way to do that. See, the video has completed. I hit cut to get that video off of the screen, go back to the video scene, and so you can see the video is in the queue there, right? In preview. And I can swap between these here to see which one is in preview. And then go back and I can put something else in preview as well, just in case I want to do that. So you have that option there as well. So the next button down after you've gone through your videos is you can click on this second one down, and that gives you graphics. And again, you have these 7 slots for different graphics that you might want to showcase. Now, there's no preview on these. They just show, and you press it once, it'll show. Press it the second time, it will come back off. And it takes over both program and preview. I mean, the graphic is essentially, I use it in my live shows or even broadcast, whatever, as a way to shift some things around. Let's say you put this graphic up, come out of this, go back to, let's say scene C, and cut to that. Once I go back to the graphic now, I can take that graphic off, and now we're on scene C, right? And so that's one of the ways that I would use that. But again, the graphics are there. You have 7 of them to utilize. You could put in transparent graphics as well, but I've used them for different things that we may have going on at the ministry, or in this particular case for this particular entity that I'm working with. So you have graphics here, which is another really great one that you can use and work with. And then you press that again, it takes it off, it goes back to the normal mode. You press that again, and it goes back to, again, the normal mode as well. And then this one, when you press on this, it allows you to use picture-in-picture. Now, I don't have an additional camera connected, so you won't be able to utilize that picture-in-picture functionality. But essentially, that is the RodeCaster video. All of the different functions and features that I've been able to work with it so far. This is just kind of my initial reactions, what I've been playing with. I've had it for less than a week at this point, and just wanted to kind of get a video out for you to be able to see some of the things I'm playing with it. You know, I'm a live guy. I mean, I love live streaming, so that's one of the things I want to make sure I'm able to utilize it for. So, let me know in the comments section what you guys think. If you have any questions, I will let you know, and in subsequent follow-up videos, what else I've learned, what are some other things that I've seen it do, what is my opinion on it, and who is this actually for. I haven't really necessarily formulated that yet. I still feel like I need to play with it a little more to really hone in on that. But what is absolutely brand new that Rode has done is they've given us the ability to have scenes, fully designed scenes. And of course, in another video, I'm going to showcase how to do that with Rode Central. Just going to probably throw in some B-roll of Rode Central right now for you to be able to kind of see some of the different pieces of how what that interface looks like, and what are all the things that you can access inside Rode Central. But that's the major difference. We've seen switching before to an extent. We've seen, the ability to pair these wireless mics and bring in high quality audio. I think it is a step up from what we have seen in terms of camera switchers, but the ability to now have designed scenes, the likes of which you're seeing on screen right now, this is a game changer. This is a game changer. And, I've been doing this in Ecamm for years, but I know so many others who have not had that ability, and so they just have the raw camera. But to be able to design these things, crop in on different videos. I mean, I set up these scenes in a matter of about an hour, and I was just playing around. And this is because, of course, I have some of my graphics already ready to go. So it wasn't a huge learning curve. So I know that I come to the table with a set of particular skills.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
This really was a eye-opener for me to know that just this device, nothing else, is running these 2 screens. I can connect up 5 more cameras, well, let's say 3 more HDMI cameras and 2 more USB cameras. That is blowing my mind. Being able to show BTS, being able to show, wide shot, individual shots of each person. Let's say you're doing a podcast and you have those guests. The auto switching feature is something that I have on my list to go and take a look at. I know that many people have been talking about that as well. But the RodeCaster video is, in my opinion, the next iteration of what we are going to be seeing from video production, because we want these kinds of designed experiences to be able to really dial in your branding, dial in the look. You're talking about pattern interrupts. I mean, going from one of these to another. I mean, it's not just, this generic look, which this look is good because it has the set has been designed well. But you know, this is more or less what we had before. But to be able to go to something from that to this, it just completely changes the entire dynamic, and it allows for people to really put their fingerprint on it. We have not seen this in a physical hardware device, only in software. And so that's pretty dope. And being able to have 7 of those scenes to be able to design different types of looks and feels. One thing I will say, I did do a test stream with this to Instagram earlier. It has, it worked, right? I did stream this scene right here, and so it just showed that middle section. It didn't try to show the wide and have the black block on the top and bottom. It showed just this middle part, which is pretty cool because it did have the whole width curve piece there while I was on the live stream. But I was not able to get any comments whatsoever. I mean, this device has it's RTMP, so you know it's not bringing comments back in. So that streaming experience is a very basic experience from this device. And so I would still want to utilize this in conjunction with something like an Ecamm, or at least at a minimum a StreamYard that allows me to bring a StreamYard or EVMux, but allows me to bring in that comment functionality. But as soon as you do that, you have, you know, this double set of functions and features that you have to decide which one am I going to use. Am I going to use Ecamm scenes or EVMux scenes or StreamYard scenes, or am I going to use scenes from the RodeCaster video? And because your producer is going to have to be in that web-based streaming software or tier 3 streaming software to be able to manage comments, it almost feels like it's double work. Anyway, like I said, just want to kind of throw that out there. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I hope that this kind of video is still something that is of value to you. It's just my initial thoughts and reactions on the RodeCaster video as it stands now that I have my hands on it. Is it a switcher, streaming software, audio interface, maybe all of the above? Did they do too much? Is it a jack of all trade and master of none?
Well, which is it?
Time will tell, I guess. But I'm interested in your thoughts and reactions too. Sound off in the comments and let me know what you think. At $1,200, however, it's outside of many individuals' price point. Plus, it's really not required in a good studio setup. In fact, in this video right here, I share the secret to professional home studios on a budget, along with the order of importance and what to invest in first. Click right here to watch, and I'll see you over there. Grace and peace, fam.